Hey everybody, it's May 1st, 2010. I'm Tao Wilendamo and this is Maya Creek TV. I'm standing in front of the straw bale structure that I built last year. Basically, just got the walls up and the roof on last year. So if people come out this year, basically I'm going to be working on the house all year. That's the big project, but then there's a bunch of smaller things going on, like I gotta still raise the wind generator, and there's always going to be work in the garden, and some trees need to get cut down that are on the dam down by the lake, and there's also enough wood down there for a pretty massive bonfire just right now. And so keep your calendars open 4th of July, okay? So if you saw my last video, I was building a 4th vegetable garden bed, and since then I've built a perennial bed and planted pretty much all of the beds except for a little more succession planting that I'm going to do every week or two. And I've also put in maybe about 10 fruit trees, all different kinds, and 5 or 6 berry bushes, grapes, raspberries, blackberries, that kind of stuff. I've also planted a bunch more flowers this year. Actually, I don't really think I planted any flowers last year, but I set up a couple perennial flower patches and some annuals interplanted with the vegetables. When I was clearing out the space for the trees and bushes and stuff, I came across a couple wild grape plants and a couple wild gooseberry plants. And rather than taking them out, I actually staked in and made a trellis for the wild grapes. I just made some really rudimentary stakes out of some cedar because it's rot resistant, and then I tied some wire that I had left over from compressing the bales in the house, left over from last year, and just used that as the support wire. There really haven't been very many ticks around the campground at all. I've gotten a few walking around out in the woods, but not like I did last year. And I think the chickens and guineas did a really good job knocking the population out, especially around the campground area. And the 3 new chickens I have this year seem to be picking up exactly where the other ones left off, and they're rooting around and eating stuff on the ground. I'm assuming some of those are ticks. I spent about the last week and a half or so setting back up Tarpopolis. I hung up a bunch of the tarps again and set the tents up and moved the mattresses into them. I set up the picnic table, screen netting, and I set up like a mini version of the open air kitchen we had last year. And I also set up a storage area, and I think I set it up better this time to keep more stuff like dry better this year. Yeah, so Tarpopolis is up and ready, and it's kind of like luxury camping visitor tent area. So there's 2 free tents. One's an 8-man with a king-size bed in it, and then a king-size mattress. And then there's a 6-man tent with a full-size mattress and box springs. And so it's kind of like cushy camping. I've also got a tent platform with a tarp hanging over it down the hill that doesn't have a tent on it. So I know a lot of people, when they come out and visit, they want to set up their own tent. They don't get that many opportunities to use it, I guess. And if people really want to go off-road and get secluded, there's some flatter spots that was cleared out a little bit for people to just set up tents just right on the ground. So camping out here is quite a bit cushier than I think most people think initially. And it may seem like I'm really trying to sell the place, making this video and everything. But you can really never use too many helping hands. Oh, but did I mention that I have a disc golf out here? Another hole-in-one? That makes 5 today! So I'd like to leave you with some wildlife from around the area. About a month or so ago, a swallow started building a nest above the door here. I didn't catch on until he'd pretty much already had it built. And since that time, he's found a girlfriend, and they live there now, which is kind of annoying because every time I try to walk through the door, they fly out. And it doesn't bother me, but I know it bothers them. I'm going to let them stay and raise their babies there until they fly away. I don't think I'm really going to need to plaster until they've done that, but I'm not sure. We'll see how it goes. Pinky also likes sitting in the window frame right next to where the birds are and just watching them. He likes to just sit there anyway, but it's made it more entertaining for him now that there's birds flying right by him. So that's it for Maya Creek. See you next time.